Hi guys, hope everyone's well. Tonight I just want to talk a little bit about my core message and the one word. I remember Jag talking to us about this during one of the Q&A nights, I believe it might have been. And I think back then my word may have been passion or something along those lines. I guess I've always been a passionate person and always sort of wear my heart on my sleeve, and that sometimes has been good and probably sometimes not so good. But it wasn't until on the weekend when Jag actually told us to look back at where we'd sort of come from, I guess, and that really led me straight away to the word that I'm using, which is serving. This probably came about because I've always worked in service industry, serving people. It's also always had a bit of sales involved as well. I started off in supermarkets and worked up to being a manager. I've also worked delivering bread to retail customers and domestic customers. I've worked in food processing plants. I've also then managed to do my trade in structural landscaping, where I guess we were serving our clients by completing works for them. When I moved into the commercial side of the landscaping, I became project manager and again serving people. I've also done a lot of estimating, which I guess is probably a little bit of the sales side of it. And it just really got me to thinking about concentrating, I guess, more on providing services for my clients and serving them as opposed to selling things to them. And I think this moving forward is going to be the way that my business moves forward. I guess in the beginning, when we first started, we were always trying to set up comms and set up fast growth method and things like that, and pretty much jump straight onto connection calls or demo calls, and pretty much trying to sell something straight away. And it never really worked out. I mean, I've got a couple of clients that I did one-off projects for, but nothing sustainable. And I think that basically shows that there's something not quite right there. And I think that that is the fact that we get all excited about having some money or getting some money and getting our first clients and things like that, and that just leads you to become desperate, I suppose, in trying to sell something. So moving forward with LSD marketing, as I said last night, I'm going to take a completely different approach. I mean, really listen to what my clients want or potential clients want, and try and assess that and offer them services that are going to be meaningful and things that are going to benefit them long term. And I guess at the end of the day, probably have more of a realistic approach that, I'm here to be able to serve you and I can actually help you with your business, but you actually need to put some time or financial backing back to me for me to give you those services. So rather than just selling to people for money, I guess, be more than happy to try and move forward working through selling for time as well, and not being desperate. I guess when you're on connection calls and things like that, at the end of the day, it's going to be a long-term project, this business. It's not something that's I'm expecting going to make $1 million in the first 12 months. I've actually started working on a 10-year plan. So I guess it's just about being patient, and I guess getting the right people and getting in front of the right people. I've just started running another campaign, so far with very mixed results, which I'll, at the end of the week when it's finished, I'll post and show how that went. But I think for me, just becoming a thinker and strategizing more and offering, I guess, a service that's based more on what I can do for you and how I can help you, as opposed to just trying to sell something to you. So fingers crossed, hopefully this will work out for the business, and I'm pretty sure it will eventually. But anyway, that's it for tonight's video. I'll talk to you soon.